A huge thanks to Intel, MSI, Corsair, Thermaltake, WD Black and Frostech for making this video possible, and also to Manpreet for building this PC. Alright, so this one is going to be a special one. This build behind me is the most powerful, most expensive, and also the most beautiful build we have done so far on the channel. And in today's video, let's talk about this almost $3,000 gaming PC, how it performs in games, and if you should build one for yourself. And also, before I start this video, guys, I want to know, what is your dream gaming PC? What are the specs? What parts would you use? I want to know everything in the comments down below. But with that being said, let's get started. Alright, so I'm going to cut to the chase and get to the build itself. This is a $3,000 gaming PC build based on Intel's i9-11900k and RTX 3080 Supreme X from MSI. Now I know the 12th generation CPUs from Intel are out, but this build was planned way before 12th generation even came out, and we were working on it for a long time. So yes, you could turn this into a 12th gen build by changing the CPU, the motherboard, and if you want to add DDR5 RAM. But with that out of the way, let's talk about this build in itself, because even with the 11th generation i9-11900k, it's a beast of a PC, and of course, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous inside out. So let's start off with the specifications. For the CPU, we are using the Intel Core i9-11900k. It's a 8-core 16-thread CPU based on the 14nm FinFET technology. It's got a base clock of 3.5 GHz and a boost of 5.1. It can also boost up to 5.3 using Intel's thermal velocity boost technology, and it's a really good CPU in my opinion. Although it did not beat the AMD counterparts, it still can hold its own in terms of gaming and doing editing and just higher end tasks. Of course, the 12th gen is better, but this is no slouch either. And to house that 11900K, we are using MSI Z590 Ace motherboard. And I've made a whole video about this motherboard on the channel in the past, but just to give you a gist of it, it's a really nice motherboard that's got all the features that you would need. It's got quadruple M.2 slots, it's got RGB, USB Type-C, PCI Gen 4. Basically, it's got everything you can think of, and the VRM on this motherboard is really nice, the thermal performance, the build quality, and it can also overclock really well. So the motherboard is the MSI Z590 Ace. Now for the memory in this build, we've gone with Corsair's Dominator Platinum 32GB 3200 MHz kit. It is 8GB sticks into 4, so again 4 8GB sticks totaling up to 32GB. And I don't really have to talk about the Dominator Platinums from Corsair. The unique RGB effect that it has that can be customized using their IQ software, it's just iconic. Everyone loves the Dominator Platinums. It's got performance, it's got the beauty, and that's the RAM for this build. For our mass storage, we're using the WD Black SN850 PCI Gen 4 SSD. It's a 1TB drive, and storage is very subjective, guys. You can add as much as you want and as little as you want. This 1 TB drive is, again, as I said, PCI Gen 4, so you're expecting speeds anywhere from 5,000 to 7,000 megabytes read and write, and that's actually really nice in my opinion. It's really fast, just booting up Windows, opening up games and softwares and stuff like that. It's really responsive and it's really fast. There's also a heatsink version available with RGB lighting, so if that's your fancy, you can go ahead and buy that. For all you curious souls out there that are wondering about the cooling in this build, we are using the Corsair Hydro X Series XH305i custom RGB liquid cooling kit. Now this is custom loop LCS, so this is not an AIO. You will have to build and design the loop, and basically Corsair will give you everything you need to get this up and running. You will get the XC7 RGB water block, the XD5 pump and reservoir, the XR5 radiator, which is the 360mm in this case, and you will also get all the fittings, the tubings, the cutting kit, the tools for bending the tubes, and all the cables necessary. Basically everything you need to get this up and running will be included in the box, and you'll also get 3 QL120 fans from Corsair, which are optimized for radiator use. So this is going to be the cooling for this build, and it looks beautiful. With a coolant of your choice, you can make this your way. There is no limitation. You can design your loop as complex or as simple as you want. This being a very simple loop in my opinion, but does the job. The cooling performance is really good, and also there's pre-applied thermal paste on the water block, so if you're wondering about that. But yeah, it is pricey, but it definitely is worth every penny in my opinion if you don't want to go through the hassle of buying everything individually. So that's that, and that's the Corsair Hydro X LCS system. And for the power supply in this build, we've gone with the Thermaltake Smart BM2 750 watt power supply. Now we will be upgrading it in the future to maybe 850 watt from MSI. So yeah, the 750 watt power supply is semi-modular, and it is from Thermaltake, which happens to be a really nice brand, so you'll get their warranty. It's just a power supply, nothing interesting here, no RGB, no bling. So it gets the job done, and upgrading in the future should be no problem here. The RTX 3080 is going to be fine with 750 watts, but as I said, we will be upgrading this power supply to 850 watts, so maybe in the future I'll drop an update for you guys once this is upgraded. Now talking about the graphics card, the star of the show, the monster that's running this beast, is going to be the MSI RTX 3080 Supreme X, 10 gigabytes of GDDR6 memory. You've got their Trifrozer 2S cooling technology here with the core pipe technology, the Torque X fan 4.0, everything combined together. This card looks good, performs like a beast, and stays cool in the process. It is more than enough for gaming. It is capable of 1440p gaming, high refresh rate 1440p gaming, and also 4K gaming. The 3080 in my opinion is a really nice card, the perfect card for 4K gaming in my opinion. And if you want to upgrade to the 3090, which is totally overkill, you can try some 8K gaming as well. But the Supreme X RTX 3080 in this build is absolutely bonkers in my opinion, and happens to be my favorite card. Again, I've made a whole video on this card in the past on this channel, so if you want to learn more about this 3080 Supreme X from MSI, you can check that out. But with that being said, let's talk about that case, because it is beautiful, it's built really well, and it's just a really premium case in my opinion. This is the Thermaltake Core P6 cabinet. It's a ATX case. It definitely is bigger than a normal ATX case, but the materials used, the build quality, and the features it offers is just really nice. I really like this case. It has the DMD design, which is dismantleable modular design, so you can take apart everything in this case and then use those parts to wall mount this PC. You can use this PC in a closed form factor and also open form factor, where the middle part of the case goes away and you just have the tempered glass on the front and the back panel on the back. So in that way you can show off all your components. It is perfect for liquid cooling, has lots of airflow, lots of radiator space, lots of space for your fans. Like in this case, we've got 12 RGB fans, which is absolutely bonkers in my opinion. You can have two 360mm radiators, which is again really cool. So people who want to do liquid cooling, custom liquid cooling, especially people who want a big case, who have lots of storage, big graphics cards, this has to be the case for them. It's got USB Type-C on the front, and also a totally rotatable PCI expansion card on the back, so you can do vertical mounting for every GPU that you include in this build. So all the 7 slots will rotate, and you can have a totally vertical mount on the back. And talking about RGB fans, the fans in this build were provided by Frostech. These are their FS120A ARGB fans, which are available in both black and white. 2000 RPM speeds, and their fluid hydraulic bearing makes sure that the fan stays quiet even at higher RPMs. You've got options for PWM daisy chaining as well as ARGB daisy chaining, and it's also got an airflow of 57 CFM, which in this price point is really rare to see. I personally am using the fans right now. I checked the build quality and I can definitely say, they're a buy. You can definitely go ahead and check them out, and I recommend them. So, the effects, the lighting quality, the airflow, and the whole acoustic performance of this fan, in my opinion, is really nice. Alright, so all the parts aside, I know you guys want to see the performance of this build and how it performs in games. So I'm going to be doing 1440p benchmarks, and in some games also 4K benchmarks. I'm doing 1440p mostly because I had a 1440p monitor from MSI, so again, that made the testing easier. And I'm going to be testing a bunch of games that I personally like and play. And with that being said, these are the benchmarks. Enjoy.
This is a Tricky Beat production. This is a Tricky Beat production.
Alright, Performance numbers are amazing, I know. The 12th generation is better, but the 11900k is not bad in my opinion, you know. It's definitely holding up in terms of, 1440p and 4K gaming. And, games like RDR2 and Cyberpunk 2077 are still not really optimized, so don't really take the performance numbers of those games as, a review of this PC, because those games still need some optimization. But apart from that, guys, that's the performance, those are the parts, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As I said in the start of the video, do let me know what your dream PC build would be, what parts you would use. If you were to ask me, I'd say something similar to this. This is definitely close to what I would call, my dream gaming PC build. But with that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and smash the like button. All the links to all the parts that I spoke about in this video will be in the description down below. So, go ahead and check it out. And huge thanks to all the brands that I mentioned in the start of the video for making this video possible, for sending over the components. And with that being said, guys, my name has been Yusuf. You guys have been awesome. Stay awesome, keep smiling, happy holidays, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Chucky Beat Production.